Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today in this video, we are going to see a very important topic from ReactJS, which is React Router DOM. So if you are new here, please consider subscribing so you won't miss any future content. Now let's start the video. Yes, so as you can see on my screen, this is the package which we are going to see today, which is React Router DOM. And this is one of the ReactJS or JavaScript library which we are going to use in our ReactJS. The reason is to use this because we want to create a navigation and we have to move into the other component. Basically, right now, whatever we are doing is we are doing only single page we are seeing. Okay, it's a single page application also. That's a different concept, but we are only seeing one page. Okay, but if you want to navigate, if you want to create multiple pages and navigate between the pages, you need this library to do that. Okay, but if you remember from the HTML, we'll have to create like multiple HTML file, and with a header or the navigation, we can have to navigate like using the anchor tag. But here, this library provides us to some other methods which we can use to navigate between components. Okay, so let's start this. So let me copy this and let's go back to the VS Code. So you can see this is a new component, new project I have created for React Router DOM. And let's open a new terminal and let's install this thing. So I have pasted here and let's enter and it will install our like React Router DOM for us. Okay, so let's go to the src. Let me go to the app.js and I'll just clear the whatever things we have here, and I'll just have div, and inside that h1 tag for now, app component. Okay, once this is installed, we are going to run. So now you can see it is installed. We can go to the package.json and we can see it here, React Router DOM. Okay, React DOM is a different one, Router DOM, which we are going to use today. Okay, so let me clear this and let's run the project. Okay, npm start. It will open a server in our browser. Okay, so let it open first. Okay, so first thing what we have to do in order to initialize it, because we have to set up React Router DOM in our pages. Okay, before that, let's create few components so that we can navigate between them. Okay, so let me go here in the src. I'll create a folder as components, and inside that I'll create a component a. Okay, .js, and same way I'll create one more file where I'll say component b. Okay, right now I'm just creating component a, b, c, d, or let's have it like this way. Okay, let's say about us.js, and I'll just rename it to home. Component b will be like profile. Okay, so let me use shortcut to create the component faster. Home component is here, profile also, let's create profile, and about us as well. Okay, so yes, so all three components we have created. Okay, now what we have to do is we have to set up in such a way that we should be able to move it using a navigation bar. Okay, we have to create a navigation bar, and using the navigation bar we can move between the components. Okay, that we can also do. So we'll do it later, but let's not import directly right now all the components. We have to set up it first. So in order to set up it, we have to go to index.js and we have to do one thing. Okay, let me remove the strict mode because the strict mode will render the component twice. Okay, so first thing what we have to import is from React Router DOM, we have to import browser router. Okay, so you can see here browser router we have to import, and we have to wrap our app component between React Router DOM. Okay, so browser router. Okay, so let's say browser router here and end, and in between this we have to have our app.js. Okay, so this is the first initialization we have to do, and then we can go to the app.js. Okay, which is our starting point, right? So let me remove this h1 here, and let's import few things. Okay, firstly let's import React as well, because React should be there. Let's import a few other things from React Router DOM. Okay, the first thing which we need is routes. Okay, first thing we need routes, and then second we need route. Okay, because we have to create routes, and in that route we have to have single like routes basically. Okay, So then what we can do inside the app.js, let me just zoom it here, and I'll say routes. Okay, and it should be a open and close component, and after that here we have to have a route. Okay, and it's a self-closing one. Okay, so here what exactly we are doing is we are defining all the routes, and each route will define each component. Okay, suppose home we need one component, one route, profile one route, about us one route. Okay, like that. So let's say here we have to do two things. Okay, first thing is path. Okay, path is nothing but here, if you go here, right, this is a slash right now. Okay, if you want to go into the profile, this is a profile path. Okay, slash profile is the profile path. So these are all paths. Okay, so that we have to do it here. Okay, so the first path I'll say slash. Okay, and then the second thing we have to do is element. Okay, element is nothing but your component. Okay, so element equal to curly braces, and inside that you have to have your component, which is our component as home. Okay, so if I click here, it will auto import it. Okay, so you can see you have to make sure it is imported properly on top. Okay, so now you see we have created our route. The first route is the slash, which is the home component. So if I go back, we can see home is coming here. Okay, so let me give some CSS here so that it will show the text into the center. Okay, yeah, we can see home is coming here. Okay, so the first, as I defined the first path with the element as home, the home component is visible here. Okay, if you want to make it default or the first component profile, okay, you can just import profile component and it will show default as profile. Okay, but we don't want to do it right now. We want to have home component as our default component. Okay, sometimes people have login as a default component as well. Okay, that also we can do, but right now we are not having login, right? But you have to just replace here. Okay, so let's create one more route, and let's say path as slash about us. Okay, and element will be our about us component. Okay, so about us here. Okay, so let me go back, let's refresh, and you see right now home is coming. Okay, but if I go inside the URL like about us, it is showing us about us on the slash about us path. Okay, so we have to have this path surely in our URL, then only the component will be visible. If I go back to the slash, it will give us home component. Okay, so this is how our path, like React router down will work. Okay, so let's have one more route here. So setting up React router DOM is very easy. You just need to create routes, and in that routes you have to create all the paths, and you have to import your component and give it to the element. Okay, so that's how it will be. Let's say profile will say slash profile, and element will be our profile component. Okay, and it's a self-closing component I am doing here. Okay, and it's not like you have to only provide the component which you need. You can write whatever you want inside this. Okay, suppose I will write div. Okay, inside that div I'll provide it here. Okay, and here I'll say h1 tag as app. Okay, let's go back, and you see app is coming and home is coming. Okay, so it's something like you can return your HTML here, whatever HTML you want. Okay, it's not only component you can provide. Okay, so let me remove it for now. But I think the concept is clear for you guys, right? This one. So right now we are getting home. If I go to the slash about us, we can see about us coming here, and if I say profile is coming here. Okay, so now you see we have achieved this particular thing. Like we are able to create React router DOM. We are able to see other components as well in our application. Okay, on a different path, but now we have to see how we can navigate to that. If you remember from the HTML, we used to have anchor tags to navigate it. So let's create a small navigation bar here. I'll creating a function inside the app only. Okay, I'll say navigations. Okay, or navigation bar I'll say, and here I'll just return some HTML here. Okay, so let's say UL and LI, and inside that I'll have a anchor tag. Okay, I'll say home, and it will be href. We'll say slash. Okay, because home is slash, right? And then let's have two more. I'll say here profile, and it will be profile as well. Okay, and this one I'll say about us, and about us. Okay, and this component I want to render in each component. Okay, or else what I can do is before this routes I'll have here, okay, this component. So it will render in all the it will show in all the routes. Okay, that's how it will be, it will work. Okay, so if I go back now, you see we are able to see home, profile, about us. Okay, so let's not worry about the CSS right now, we can see it later, but let's see, okay, how it is working. So right now we are on home page only. Let's click on profile. So you see we are able to go to profile, and here we can see profile section is coming up. Okay, if I click about us is coming, and about us is coming. Okay, let's click home. But with this we can able to navigate to the other component, but the problem is it is refreshing the page. Okay, if I click on profile, if you observe this refresh button here, it will refresh. See, refresh. So this is a very not good thing in React.js. It should not reload our page. Okay, the SPA we are going to do, right? Single page application mean it will not going to reload any time. Okay, we have to, if we do any operation, it should not reload, it should go to the other component. That's what we are going to do now. So with for that, what exactly we have to do is React Router DOM will provide few methods, or I can say link. Okay, link is something which is a tag similar to the anchor tag, which we can use to navigate between components. Okay, or routes I can say. So these things we can say it as path or route. Okay, two things you can say. So first let's import it. I'll say link. Okay, so this is one of a component. Okay, and instead of a tag, anchor tag, I'll have link tag here. Okay, so let me change all of their link, and instead of href it should be 2. Okay, it should be 2 because anchor tag will accept href, but link has its own props. Okay, properties, that's why. So now you see link tag we have done it, and 2 we are saying to this component or this route. Okay, so let's go back here. If I refresh, nothing will going to change because link is also a anchor tag, but it has some other features which comes from the React Router DOM, which will not going to refresh our page. Okay, so let me click profile. Now you see we are in profile, and it is not refreshing the page. You observe this and observe this thing. Okay, so I'll say here about us, it is not refreshing our page. Okay, so this is how we can use our what do we say, React Router DOM to navigate between the components without refreshing our page. Okay, that's a very good thing. Without refreshing it, we have to do it in React.js. Okay, we should not refresh the page. So because of this reason, we should not use anchor tags to navigate between components basically, or the routes. Okay, so this is the one way of doing it. One more way we have it. I'll show one thing is what do we say, use navigate. Okay, use navigate is one of a hook. Okay, one of the hook we have, which is a custom hook provided by the React Router DOM. Okay, using this also we can navigate. Okay, so let's see how we can set up use navigate. Okay, so first thing, once you import it, we have to come here before return. We have to say constant navigate. We have to initialize it. Okay, so use navigate, I'll say done. Okay, so this is the initialization, and now I'll create a function handle navigate. Okay, handle navigate, and inside that I'll say navigate, and navigate to slash profile. Okay, this one I'm doing. I'll just comment on the navigation bar, so we should not see here. And here I'll create a button. Okay, like on a button click you want to navigate, so how you can do it? So this is how we can do. So I'll say profile here, and inside a button I'll say on click and handle navigate. Okay, so handle navigate I'm doing. So what handle navigate do is it will use this particular hook, okay, which is initialized here, and once you do this, it will ask where you want to navigate. Okay, you can provide your route, basically slash profile here. Okay, so let me go back. Now you see button is coming. If I click on this button, it should navigate without refreshing to the profile section. Let's see. Now you see it didn't refresh the page, and we are on the profile page. Let's try it again. Let me go back. Now if I click profile, you can observe here it will not going to refresh, and we will be in the profile. Okay, See, it didn't refresh. We are in the profile route and we can see the profile component here. Okay, so this is how we can work with the useNavigate hook, which is provided by the React router DOM to navigate between components or the routes. Okay. Yes. So as you can see, I have applied few CSS for the navigation. I just did flex and some gap here, so you can see it properly. So we can navigate between the components. Now what we have to do is we have to track where we are actually. Okay, tracking is nothing but in the navigation bar. It should active the page. Okay, it should active the tab wherever we are. Right now, if we are in home, it should show this home in a different color, saying as in a different component, like it is in the current component we are showing here. Okay, if we go to profile, it should color out some, should apply some other color to make sure that it is active tab. Okay, so this thing we can do with the React router DOM very easily. Okay, let's see how we can do it first. Okay, so as we have used link tag to create this navigation bar. Okay, but what exactly will happen with the link tag is it will not going to say which is the active class. Okay, so for that, to see what is the active tab, we can use navlink. Okay, so navlink is also similar to the link. It will help us to navigate between the components, but it will have one extra feature that it will show us which is the current active tab or the component or the route, we can say which is the active route. It will going to show us. Okay, so that we can see using the nav link. So let's go back and let's open the DOM here, elements, and I'll just try to see this home component. And yeah, now you see, we if you observe this, I'll just zoom in on, here you see anchor tag is coming. As I said, link is also a anchor tag. We can see anchor tag, and here you see class active it's saying. Okay, so let's revert back to link tag. I'll say link to just see if it is providing the or not. Okay, I just refresh it. Let's try to see home page, and here you see, if we use if we use link tag, link component. Okay, that time it is showing href slash, that's it. Okay, it's not showing us which is the active tag. But if we use navlink, it is showing us which is the active tag currently. You see, class is saying dot active. Okay, so now what we can do is we can go to the CSS and we can do dot active, and we can apply some colors here. Okay, background, let's say teal color. Okay, if I go back, now you see the background is applied to this. If I go to profile, it is showing the active tag for the profile as well. The CSS are very like not good, but you can see the active tag we can see. If I go to profile, here you see for profile it's showing now active class. Okay, if I go to the about us, if I click on about us, it will show class active for this thing. Okay, so this is how we can make sure we can see which is the active tab in the navigation bar using the React router DOM. But see, as we have applied directly dot active, this is not a good practice. Okay, we should follow the hierarchy of the tags. Right now you see UL I have given nav class. Okay, it should come as dot nav, then li, then a, and then the active class. Okay, so let's do that. uh, a. Okay, so let me go back, let me refresh. Now you see this is how the CSS will be. Okay, so we can just modify few of the CSS color. I'll say white. Okay, and let's say for anchor tag there is no padding and all, so I'll just say padding 10 pixel, and text decoration I'll say none, and border radius let's apply 50 pixel, or not 50 pixel, 8 pixel, let's say. Yeah, now you see this is how the active tabs are coming. Okay, uh, so using the React router DOM and using the nav link, we can do this thing. Okay, yes. So let's see one more hook which is provided by the React router DOM, which is useLocation. Okay, so what useLocation does is it will provide the all details related to the location or the URL. Okay, basically. So let's import the useLocation, comma useLocation, and the same thing we can initialize the useLocation as we did for the useNavigation. Okay, so constant location equal to useLocation. Okay, So let's log this value. Okay, what exactly we are getting, we can see it here. Okay, so log it. Let's go back here. Let me open the console so we can see. Now let me refresh it. Okay, now you see in the console we are getting one object. Okay, so let's open it, and here you see it's saying hash, it's saying key, and it's saying path name. Okay, it's saying path name means what path, where, which path you are in currently in. Okay, and then search is there if there is a search history, which means suppose if you do question mark and you say username equal to hello. Okay, enter. So it will show us the search as well. You see search is coming here this way. So this is the query writing system which will have in the URL that we can do. With respect to this also we can perform some operations which we are going to do if you like whenever we start some projects, right? That time we can do, but this is how we can write the query. Okay, if you want to add one more item, you can just do and you can write like what do we say, email equal to icubecode.exe@gmail.com. Okay, if I enter it, we should be able to see that is also coming up. See, and this thing. So you can write the query like this, and in the search query we can say we can get it in the location. Also we can see the path name. Okay, it will just give you the path name. Location will give you the path name. If we go to the profile section, you can see here the path name is changed to profile. Okay, so sometimes there are some cases that we have to see which path we are in right now, and with respect to that we have to perform some operation. So using the location like use location hook from the React router down, you can do that operation. Basically you can get the path name or search query as well. Okay, as we saw here, search query we can also get it using the use location hook. Okay, yes. So let's see one more hook called use params. Okay. So what is the use param is, like suppose we have to give some param value. Okay, sometime. So in order to get this param value, we have to use param. Okay, let's see what is exactly what I mean. Okay. So what we can do in the route is we can have here profile. Okay, or suppose we'll have one more route here, and path we can say it as users. Okay, and element will have the users component. Okay, I'll say just now right now only div, and inside that one more h1 tag users I'm saying. Okay, so if we let's add it into the list item as well, I'll say here users, and it will be the users. Okay, so you can see it coming here. Why the color is not changed, not sure. Let's click on this and we can see users is coming up here. Okay, now what I want to do is, like suppose just think about it. Okay, we have multiple users here. Okay, but I want to see only one user. That time we can filter it using some key or the parameter value. Okay, so param value we can say. So in this path we can do slash, and here we can say user name. Okay, so username we are giving it from the param value only. So here I'll say it as username is something like Ilyas suppose, and when I go to this particular route, it will show related details related to Ilyas only. If you do something like other names, Stark, okay, it will show the details of Stark only. So this is the param value we can provide from the React router DOM. Okay, so let's see how we can give the value to it. Okay, so let's say I want to do on a button click. Okay, so let me go to the home page, and here what I'll do in the home page is I'll have a button. Okay, so click. Okay, go to users. Okay, I'll call the this as a button name. Okay, and here what I'll do is I'll use navigate. Okay, that's a hook I am going to use in the home component to navigate to the other component. Okay, so navigate, use navigate. This is how we can initialize it, and I'll create a function handle navigate, and using this we can navigate to the users. Okay, so I'll say users slash users. Okay, slash user, and what we can do here is slash, we'll write some name here. Okay, star cal. Basically what will happen is right now we are only writing hard coded values. Okay, this is hard coded. We can do it dynamically when we do actual projects and all, but right now for example purpose this is fine. Okay, so let's go back and let's see it here. Okay, so let me refresh this. So now what will happen is, let me go back here, and I'm not sure why Okay, so you see if I go to users as well, it's not showing anything. Okay, so here why it is not showing anything, because it is saying to go to this particular URL. Okay, if the URL is not matching, so we need to go to some URL like this, then only it will show the content here, or else it is not going to show the content. That we can handle by creating one more route for the normal thing, like which is the slash users URL. Okay, that also we can do here. Okay, so let me do that. And element I'll going to show this thing, or let's do one more thing. Let's create a users component, that will be more easy. Okay, I'll create it here, users component, and let's import that instead of this. Okay, users, and same thing, let me use it here. Okay, so now we can see users are coming here. Okay, now what exactly we want to do now is, if I go here, if I click on go to user, okay, it will go to the user and it's showing the Stark as well. Okay, we are able to navigate it properly. Now we have to see how we can get this value in our component. Okay, so for that we can go to users and we can import the use params. Okay, use params hook. Params, you can see use params. Okay, and initializing is the same. How we will do the other ones is constant params, okay, equal to use params. Okay, that's it. And if I console it, params, okay, it will give us the param value. Let me refresh it again. So you see in the console, if I click on go to users, it will show us username as Stark. Okay, it's showing here. Okay, and the username, where it is coming as username. Okay, where we have defined it here, you see I defined as username. If I say ID, let's go back. Now if I click on go to user, it will show ID. Okay, it's based on what name you are providing here, basically in the route. Okay, so now you see we are able to get the username. Now let's show the username here. Okay, so what we can do here is we can go here and we can have this. I'll say params dot username. Okay, this is how we can access it. Okay, so now you see we are able to access it here. Let's wrap this into a B tag, bold tag, so that we can see this properly. Okay, now you see we are getting this thing. Okay, so this is the one thing. Okay, now what will happen if I go to users? Let's see. I went to user, the value is coming nothing, that's why it's not showing anything here. Okay, so that's how this will going to work. If I click on go to user, it will show us the param value which is coming here. Okay, so that's how the use params hook will work in the React router DOM. Okay, yes, so let's do a very interesting thing. This is the final thing from the React router DOM, which I will going to show. So this is our channel. If I click here, it will open a video. Okay, and you see here, here also we can see the param values here. So slash is there and icubecode is there. Okay, and icubecode inside we are in. This is a channel. Okay, icubecode is a channel, and inside that we are in slash videos. Okay, just now we saw that how we can use param. Okay, so here YouTube also using use param. Based with respect to that, it is showing this thing. Okay, if I change this instead of this, let's say SVGIE, let's see where it will going to take us. Okay, you see it is taking to this particular thing. I don't know why this channel is coming. It should come Raghu sir's channel. But yeah, so whenever you provide this param value with respect to this, we are performing some operation in the code. Okay, so that's how this param values will work. Okay, let's see one more thing. If I click on this video, you see it is open this particular, and you see here it is going to the slash watch. Okay, slash watch is going, but you see there is a search string question mark v equal to some random string. So let's see how we can generate this random string in our React.js. Okay, so for that what we have to do is, let's go back to our project, which is this one, and what we can do is we can go to the home page, and here we can create one more button. Okay, I'll just create br here, and let's say button click. Okay, and here let's create a function. Okay, I'll say function handle, what do you say, params. Okay, I'll say handle param. Now we have to navigate to the slash profile. Okay, profile we are going to go from here. If I click here, it will go take us to the profile. Okay, let me add on click event here. Okay, so if I click here, we are going to go into the profile. But now what I have to do is I have to find a particular profile. Okay, so how we can find it? So if you see in the videos as well, if I open another video in another tab, you see the ID is different. You see the ID is coming different. Here the ID is different. Okay, so let's see how we can generate it. Okay, basically. So let's go back to the home, and here what I will do is I will create a variable. Okay, let my id equal to, I am saying my name. Okay, or let's say star only. Okay, so this is the name, and we can provide it easily. Okay, what you can do is write a question mark here. This is a search string, we are saying question mark, then I'll say p. Okay, p equal to, and it should be like backticks, because we are going to give a variable name. Okay, and then dollar curly braces, I'll say my id. Okay, that's it. So now let's go back, and if I click here, it is going to the profile section, and you can see in the url as well. I don't know, I can zoom that, but you can able to see here p equal to star. Okay, we are able to get the at least search string, but right now we want to encrypt it so that other people should not see this. Okay, so let's see how we can do that. So let me create let secret id equal to b2a. b2a is a function from javascript which will encrypt your data into a encrypted key that you can later on decrypt it as well. Okay, so b2a will going to encrypt it. So b2a, I will going to provide my id, and this here I'll change it to secret id. Okay, so let's go back to the home page, and now let's click on the this click button. Now you see here we are getting this particular string here. Okay, so let me show it here. It is showing like this. Okay, p equal to this thing. So it is generating a secret key for us. Okay, so this is how we can generate a secret key. So now let's see in the profile section, I want to show the name. We want to decrypt this name, and we have to show the name here. Okay, so let's see how we can do that. So there are few steps involved in this. Okay, the first thing, we have to get the search string. So there, how we can get the search string? Just now we know that use location we have to use to do that. Okay, so let's use, or let's import use location. Okay, import use location, and let's initialize it. To initialize it, we can write constant location equal to use location, and here we can log it location. So let's see. Now you see here it is giving us this search string here. Okay, now what we have to do is we have to get the search string out of it. So what I'll do is I'll do search. You see, now we are only getting search. Okay, now what I will going to do is I want to find this value. Okay, p equal to, so what I will do is I will just do split with question mark. Okay, and if I do it, we can get the value this way. Okay, p equal to this one. Now what I'll do is I'll do of 1, because the first item we need, the not the zeroth item. Okay, so that we can get only this thing, because the question mark we have to remove it. That's the reason I did this much process. And after that, maybe like we can use what we can use it here is let me see, json dot parse. Like I'm not sure, let me check once. Okay, it's not using that. Okay, so let's do for now a difficult way of doing it. Let me split it again with a p equal to. Okay, so let's see. Now you see we are getting this value. This is a very big process, I know, but it can be a simplified as well. Okay, let me do 1, and you see we are getting this particular value. Okay, and this whole string I will going to put it into a to b. Okay, and it should give us the name back. Okay, now you see we are getting the name back out of this. Okay, so getting the value is very difficult, which the method I showed, but we can simplify it with a one thing. Instead of p equal to, we just remove the p equal to here, and then, and let's go to the profile, and let's skip this part. Okay, and we should be able to see the value here. Okay, let me go to the home page first. Let's click here, and now you see we are getting star here. Okay, the basic thing what we did is we got the location dot search first. From there we split it with the question mark, because we don't need question mark here, we just need id. Okay, So once we split, it will give us two elements in an array. Zero element is the empty element. Second element will have our ID, which is the index one. So index one element I am getting out, and I am keeping inside a to B, so that it should decrypt the value. Okay, and once it is decrypted, we can use anywhere we want. Okay, so right now you can see Stark value is coming up. Okay, so this is how we can encrypt our param values using A to B, B to A. Okay. Yes. So this is about React Router DOM. We saw like how we can use the React Router DOM in our application to create different routes. We saw how different ways to navigate it without refreshing the page. Third thing, we saw few hooks such as use navigate, use location, use param values. So these are all the hooks from the React Router DOM. Okay. And also we saw like how we can encrypt the param values or the search values. Okay. Using the A to B and B to A. So yes, thank you guys for watching this video. I hope you found it helpful. If you did, please consider subscribing and give it a like. I'll be back with more content in the next video. Thank you.